My 25-year-old sister, 37-year-old, was excited about going to a nature hotel for Christmas with all of our family members included. She sent me pictures of the place, and it was a very nice place to stay for Christmas. My boyfriend and I live together, and we both have 2 dogs. We are leaving our youngest, a border collie, in daycare for the days we are going to be gone. But we also have a 3-year-old golden retriever who has grown to dislike male dogs. He is also not used to daycare and gets separation anxiety when he's not with us. On the other hand, our border collie is more social and outgoing with others and doesn't mind sleeping somewhere else. The first thing I asked my sister was if I was allowed to take Noah, our golden retriever, since there is no one in the family who can take care of him on Christmas, which is such a special date. She said yes, that dogs were allowed. I told her then we were going and that it wasn't an issue. She made the reservation and had to pay some money for us to secure the place for that day. She sent me the link which said, "Dogs are not allowed." I then asked her again, "Hey, are you sure they are allowed?" I sent her a screenshot of the part of the link where it said they weren't. She again said, "I'm sure the owner of the place won't say no to us paying him a lot of money just because of a dog." I talked this out with my boyfriend, and he said we should confirm with the owner. I texted him via WhatsApp and he told me that dogs were 100% not allowed. I sent that to my sister and she said, "We'll see what we'll do." I told her that if Noah can't go, then we can't either. She got angry at me, yelling that we had to pay our part because she cannot pay for what we were meant to pay. I told her that I was not going to pay a lot of money if we weren't going. She said that our dog was our problem and we needed to figure out how to solve it ourselves. She said it was up to me to confirm if dogs were allowed or not. I told her she lied to me and that I was not going to pay because we were not going. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your sister should not have lied to you. She also should not have been a deceitful brat to the owner of the place she is staying. Comment 2. Not the idiot. She said that our dog was our problem. Cool, tell her that her reservation is her problem. Comment 3. Not the idiot. She lied. She was going to hang you out to dry. She just faffo. Now, for the update. So, you won't believe how this whole mess with my sister and the Christmas trip escalated over the past 2 weeks. A couple days after our last argument, my sister sends a group text to the family, announcing that she's found a solution. She somehow convinced the nature hotel owner to let Noah stay, but only if he remains in a kennel outside. I was stunned. Outside in the cold? No way. I immediately called her out in the family chat saying it was unacceptable and that I was shocked she even considered it a solution. But here's where things get wild. My mom, who's been quiet up till now, jumps in. She's livid, saying how disappointed she is that a family trip is being torn apart over a dog issue. She suggests that I'm being selfish and should just give Noah to a pet sitter. The family chat explodes. Everyone's taking sides and it's chaos. Feeling cornered, I start looking for a pet sitter, but deep down I'm hurt. Noah's part of my family and it seemed like my human family just didn't get that. As I'm scrolling through sitter profiles, my phone rings. It's my Aunt Lisa, who's been out of the loop. She heard the drama and offers to take Noah. I'm relieved but still upset about the whole situation. I tell my sister that Noah will stay with Aunt Lisa and I'll come on the trip. But as soon as I say it, there's radio silence from her end. Hours later, she texts back saying that she had to pull some strings to get the kennel option and that it's too late to cancel it now. Plus, she adds, the owner wasn't pleased with the back and forth and has given us an ultimatum. Take the kennel offer or cancel the booking with a hefty cancellation fee. Feeling blackmailed, I agree to the kennel, still planning to leave Noah with Aunt Lisa and just eat the cost of the kennel fee. Trip's back on, but the tension is thicker than ever. Fast forward to the day before our departure. I get a call from a number I don't recognize. It's the hotel owner. He apologizes for the confusion and says he's had a heart-to-heart with his staff and they've decided to make an exception. Not just a kennel, but Noah can actually stay in the room with me. I'm gobsmacked. I confirm with him 3 times because I can't believe it. I break the news to the family and suddenly I'm the hero for keeping the trip alive. My sister is quiet and I can tell she's embarrassed about how she handled everything. My mum calls me, crying, apologizing for not understanding how important Noah is to me. But wait, there's more. As if fate wanted to add a cherry on top during the stay, Noah became a mini celebrity at the hotel. Another guest had a minor medical emergency, and Noah, being the good boy he is, alertedly barked to get attention, which helped the staff to respond quickly. The hotel owner was so impressed that he's now considering a pet-friendly policy change. So, from nearly being excluded from a family Christmas trip to unintentionally turning a nature hotel pet-friendly, Noah and I have been through a whirlwind. My relationship with my sister, it's getting there slowly. And as for the rest of the family, they've all learned that Noah isn't just a pet, he's the family's guardian angel with a wagging tail. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your sister should have been more considerate of Noah being part of the family. Dogs are not just pets, they are family members, and it's great that you stood your ground. Plus, finding a pet sitter last minute during the holidays is a nightmare. I'm glad the hotel owner came through and Noah got to be the hero. Comment 2. You're the idiot for not respecting your sister's concerns. Not everyone is comfortable with animals indoors, and it's her right to suggest an alternative like a kennel. Plus, it could have been a safety or allergy issue. You never know. It's about compromise, and it sounds like you weren't willing to consider her side of things. Comment 3. Not the idiot at all. Pets can have anxiety issues when separated from their families, especially during high-stress times like the holidays. Your sister should have understood that. It's fantastic that the hotel owner recognized Noah's value and might even change their policy. Your advocacy for Noah likely made a positive impact for other pet owners too. Now for the next story. I'm 28 years old male, subbing as a history teacher in my nephew's 13 years old male school. From our first class, he always called me Uncle first name, which didn't bother me personally, but then again, I was never in this position to teach anyone in my family before. Last Friday, my nephew and a friend of his were being disruptive during class, and I went over and asked them to drop it. My nephew started to reply using my name, "Come on, Uncle," and I stopped him right there. "I'm your uncle outside of this school. Here I'm your teacher, and you'll address me as Mir." I said so because I thought it was important to draw this line so he'd respect me in this situation and see me as any of his teachers. Tonight I got a call from my sister, 37 years old female, his mother. She said my nephew came home from school upset, and now she finally got out of him that I had told him not to call me uncle in school. I explained the situation to her. She says I should have explained things to him from day one, privately, instead of calling him out in front of the entire class. If I did, I would have set the boundaries sooner, and maybe he wouldn't feel comfortable to misbehave in my presence. Now I'm feeling like I failed here. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. You're the idiot for how you handled this, but not the idiot for enforcing the boundary. I speak as a former teacher. Your sister is right. You should have enforced the boundary from day one. On the other hand, it's not like you yelled at him, insulted him, etc. But I would consider apologizing to him outside of school as his uncle and explaining the importance of the boundary to him. Comment 2. You are not the idiot but have learned a valuable lesson as a teacher. It is best to set expectations early. It sounds like he was trying to get away with a bit of typical 13-year-old behavior. All you did was ask that he use the more formal address while in school, but I don't think this is AH level. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's true you should have set the boundary earlier, but your nephew was harassing his familiarity with you to misbehave, so it was entirely appropriate to correct that. Mum is just mad, her kid is upset. Now for the update. After that awkward conversation with my sister, things took a turn for the dramatic in school. My nephew, let's call him Jake, didn't take kindly to the whole call me Mr. E thing. I thought we had reached an understanding, but guess I was wrong. The next day, I get pulled into the principal's office out of the blue. Turns out Jake started a petition among the students about teacher favoritism and respecting family relationships. I'm not making this up. The kid managed to get more than half the school to sign it. The principal was all frowns and concerned looks, asking me to explain my side of things. Fast forward to the next history class, and I'm trying to navigate the War of 1812, but it's more like navigating a minefield. Halfway through, the fire alarm goes off. We all evacuate, and it turns out to be a false alarm. But here's the kicker. My classroom was the only one with a malfunctioning smoke detector right above my desk, and my laptop's missing when we get back. I'm freaking out thinking one of Jake's buddies has it when I get an anonymous email. The sender claims they have compromising info that could get me fired unless I publicly apologize to Jake in front of the entire school. I'm not even in anything shady, but who knows what they could fabricate with access to my personal files. I decide to play detective and start paying closer attention to the students. Lo and behold, one of Jake's friends is a little too keen on watching me sweat it out. I confront him after class, and the kid breaks down, confesses it was all a prank that got out of hand, and hands over my laptop. But here's where it really hits the fan. I open my laptop and find a Word document left open with a half-written apology speech to Jake. Now, I'm no Sherlock, but it doesn't take a genius to realize someone's been using my laptop to draft a speech, and I have a sneaky suspicion it's Jake. I bring this up to the principal, and we have a sit-down with Jake, who finally admits to orchestrating the whole thing to teach me a lesson about respect. The principal is flabbergasted, and Jake gets a suspension for his little stunt. My sister's furious, now more at Jake than me, and we all have a family meeting where boundaries are set in stone, apologies are made, and I agree to give Jake a chance to rebuild trust in the classroom. In the end, I'm still teaching. Jake's back in class, acting like a model student, and the whole school's buzzing about the drama that unfolded. Never thought my temporary sub-job would turn into an episode of a high school drama series, but here we are. I've learned my lesson about setting clear boundaries from day one, that's for sure. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your nephew took things way too far with that prank. It's not just about the laptop or the threat, it's about the respect and trust he broke. You did the right thing by involving the principal. Family or not, actions have consequences, and he needs to learn that. And kudos for giving him a chance to make amends after all that. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Sure, what Jake did was wrong, but you're the adult here. It could have been handled within the family instead of getting the school involved and getting him suspended. That's a mark on his record that could have been avoided with some family discussion and understanding on both sides. Comment 3. Not the idiot. You were put in a difficult position, and it's great that you stood your ground. It's important to teach Jake that cyber threats and stealing are serious offences. Also, boundaries are crucial, especially as a teacher. You're showing him that every action has a consequence, which is a valuable life lesson. Plus, it seems like it all ended on a positive note with the family meeting and him improving his behaviour. Now for the next story. I will start a job at an airline and we get free flight privileges and can also extend them to our parents, including step-parents and in-laws. But we can only have 2 under that category. After all, you can only legally have 2 parents. But I don't particularly like my stepmother. For context, my mother died a few years ago and my dad remarried recently. Thus, I don't want to extend the privilege to her. However, my father will be upset. For context, I know he will be upset because we get 1 friend to add, and my dad mentioned adding her as the friend, to which I told him I decide who that 1 friend is and that I might give it to someone else. He got upset because he says it costs him money since she's jobless and he covers her costs, and that granting the friend pass should be automatic because it helps him. He feels that it's unfair if he gets it free and she has to pay. He went on to say that he would refuse free flights if I don't grant it to her. I responded by saying I don't support the marriage and don't like her, to which he said that I don't have the authority to dictate the marriage. I responded back by saying that he doesn't get to decide who I grant the flight privileges to. I think he's being entitled, but he thinks I'm TA for not extending something when I can to save him money. While I can add her as a parent or friend, I don't want to. Would I be the idiot for not granting her free privileges, i.e. not helping my dad save money in his eyes? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. NTS, she isn't your mom and you don't like her. So why should you feel the need to give her anything? If your dad wants to save money, his wife can get a job. Comment 2. Not the idiot, and don't add him either. He wants to complain about money yet scoff at getting his tickets free, which is basically 50% off. He can pay full price. Comment 3. Not the idiot, it's your privilege, not his. If he will refuse free flights, see if your company have a way to designate this to someone who will appreciate it. Now for the update. It's been a month since I started my job at the airline, and I regret to say things have gone downhill with my family. I decided not to extend the flight privileges to my stepmother, standing my ground on who I believed should benefit from my employee perks. Things didn't go over well with my dad. He's taken it harder than I expected. We've always been close, but this decision created a rift between us that's been hard to bridge. He believes I'm being spiteful towards my stepmother, that I'm excluding her intentionally from what he sees as a family benefit. It's resulted in cold, tense conversations and far fewer calls than we used to have. It's heartbreaking to feel like I'm losing my connection with him over this. To make matters worse, my stepmother has been openly bitter about the situation. I heard through my half-sibling that she's been bad-mouthing me to family members, painting me as the villain in this scenario. It's led to awkward family dynamics, with some relatives taking sides and others trying to mediate without success. But the most crushing blow came unexpectedly. My father's health took a turn for the worse. He's been hospitalized with a heart condition, something that none of us saw coming. It was a terrifying reminder of his mortality and how fragile our time together is. Sitting by his hospital bed, the argument over flight benefits felt petty and insignificant, yet the damage was done and hung over us, an unspoken tension. I offered to extend the benefits to my stepmother in light of everything, hoping it would mend fences. But my father, stubborn to a fault, refused. He said it wouldn't change what had already happened, that the hurt was there, and benefits now seemed like a consolation prize rather than a genuine gesture. I visit him every day trying to make up for lost time, but there's this unsaid understanding that our relationship may never fully recover. It's a stark reminder that sometimes standing on principle can cost more than we anticipate. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your job perks are yours to distribute as you see fit. If your stepmom has been bad-mouthing you, she doesn't deserve those benefits. It's sad about your dad's health, but it's on him for refusing the olive branch when you offered. You're doing your best by visiting him daily. Don't let guilt-tripping family dynamics force you into giving up your boundaries. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Withholding flight benefits out of spite only harms your relationship with your family. These perks could have been a way to bridge gaps, especially in tough times like your dad's illness. It's not just about the flights, it's about showing willingness to maintain family bonds. You might be legally right, but emotionally, this approach is pretty cold. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Just because you work for an airline doesn't obligate you to hand out perks like candy, especially to someone who speaks ill of you. Your stepmother's behavior justified your decision. Plus, you tried to make amends during a difficult time, which shows you're not heartless. It's unfortunate your dad didn't accept, but you can't force someone to reconcile. Keep visiting him and hope for the best. Now, for the next story, my sister, 22-year-old, is child-free, won't hold them, won't look at them. I've 19-year-old, always respected her decision and told off anyone in our family who came at her sideways for it. She's incredibly talented, intelligent and driven, and I love her so much. However, after this week, I feel resentment building towards her to the point where I can't even look at her. My birthday was this weekend. I go to college in a faraway state, so it's hard to coordinate plans with both friends back home and friends in other states. I've struggled making friends in college, so I've been incredibly lonely, and I wanted my birthday to be a break from that. I came home for break and managed to gather most of my friends on the same weekend for a movie and dinner. It was all set and planned, and I was so excited, until my cousin's 21-year-old husband suffered a serious car accident and my cousin needed an emergency babysitter. She had no one to ask besides my sister and I. She lives out of the way, her babysitter didn't respond, and most our family wouldn't be able to make it quick enough. It was a horrible accident. She wasn't sure if he'd survive. I begged my sister to babysit just this once. I've never asked her to watch any kid before, and it's not like I don't respect her child-free stance. I just wouldn't have the chance to have another birthday with all my friends, and my mental health was so shitty that I needed one day my friends. She said no. I'm not putting up with a crotch goblin because cousin can't plan properly. In the end, I cancelled the plans and watched the kid. On my birthday, alone. Now to the dilemma. My sister is getting married in June. It's a wedding on the beach, and I hate the beach. Bathing suits, sand, the ocean gulls, all of it. It's just a mess of sensory issues for me. But I was going to be maid of honour, so I was going to go anyways because I love my sister. After this, I want to step down. After all, why should I put up with a sea of germs and sensory issues because my sister wants a pretty wedding? I cannot believe she would rather let me miss my birthday celebration than watch a kid for a night. I know she hates them, I know, but I'd do anything for her and clearly she wouldn't for me. So I'm really about to say, frick her and the damn wedding. To an unbearable man too. But I don't want to make a rash decision and miss her probably only wedding. Would I be the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Your sister hates children more than she loves you. Not the idiot. Don't attend. Don't do anything for her ever again. She has proven that she is not your family. Comment 2. Not the idiot, stay away and let her get on with it. She can choose another MOH. Now, for the update. After a lot of reflection and reading through everyone's perspectives, I wanted to give an update on the situation with my sister and where things stand now. Last we left off, I was hurt and considering stepping down as maid of honour for my sister's wedding. Well, I ended up having a heart-to-heart with her about how I felt that day. I didn't expect much, but to my surprise, she really listened. She acknowledged that she could have handled the situation better and apologized for not being there for me. Turns out my sister has been dealing with some anxiety around kids, stemming from a deeper place we weren't aware of. She started seeing a therapist to work through some of those feelings, and while she is still child-free, she's learning ways to manage her discomfort for family situations. In a heartwarming turn, my sister wanted to make it up to me. She organised a surprise do-over birthday party. She got my friends together, planned a whole day of my favourite activities, and even though she didn't babysit that day, she found a way to incorporate kids into the celebration in small doses so she could be comfortable while also showing me support. This gesture meant the world to me. As for the wedding, not only am I still the maid of honour, but we've grown closer through this tough conversation. We're working together to ensure her wedding is a beautiful day for her and that I can support her through it all. It's not perfect, and we still have our differences, but we're learning to navigate through them with more understanding and compassion. Thank you all for the advice and support you offered when I was feeling really down. It helped more than you know. Now for the comments. Comment 1. Not the idiot. Your sister owned up to her mistakes and is actively seeking help for her anxiety. It's a good sign that she values your relationship enough to apologize and make amends. Plus, organizing a do-over birthday party. That's a sweet gesture. It shows she's trying to face her fears while still considering your feelings. Family is about growth and forgiveness, and it seems like both of you are on the right track. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Just because your sister has anxiety doesn't give her a free pass to hurt you. It's great that she's getting help, but an apology doesn't erase the pain caused. Her efforts are commendable, but you shouldn't feel obligated to stay maid of honour if you're still hurt. Your feelings are valid, and it's important to take care of yourself, even if it means stepping back from the wedding responsibilities. Comment 3. Not the idiot. It's so heartwarming to hear how you both worked through the conflict. Your sister's efforts to include kids at her expense shows real commitment to mending fences. And you, sticking by her side as maid of honour, show immense understanding and compassion. It's not just about the wedding, it's about strengthening your sibling bond. You're both setting a great example of how to handle family disagreements with grace. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.